Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Deshaun Watson ready to lead the Texans offense, coming off a great turnaround season in 2018. Remember, 2 years ago, he missed much of his rookie campaign with a knee injury, but he led the Texans to an 11-5 record and an AFC South title last year. Now a first down throw, Watson. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Will Fuller is one of the young flyers in the NFL and gets to top speed in just a couple of steps, so everyone has to respect the deep game because he'll blow past people in a hurry. But what that does is leaves open space underneath. He can take the short pass, turn it into a bigger gain because he makes people miss. If he takes care of his hands and doesn't drop a pass or two in a game, he's going to be one of the best receivers in the league.
Lamar Miller, and he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Watson going to give this one to Miller. Got some room at the 30. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
Well, they didn't really have to earn that first down, did they?
Well, they're not having to earn much, are they? Back-to-back penalties. First was 1st and 5, and now they give them a first down.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Miller. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell. On the defensive side of the ball here, the starters for Denver. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And the focus now is making sure that they're hitting on all cylinders as they head into the playoffs. And that means they've got to stop the run better, because playoff football often means running football. So they've got to be prepared for that.
On 2nd down, it's Miller. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson going deep for Hopkins. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with him. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there, let him go get it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he blitz coming, and down he goes. J.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now Flacco looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll run. It's Lindsey, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
You can't block me.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Play action for Miller. Now Watson going deep for Hopkins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. A look at the numbers a week ago for Lindsey. 13 carries, 77 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. Screen pass to Lindsey. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. Setting up to throw, Flacco. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down coming up. Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route. Looking for Gannon, it's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They begin with a run by Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs. On 2nd down, it's Jones. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Texans push further out in front. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Joe Flacco and the offense heading back out onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's 2nd down. This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game. And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Phillip Lindsay, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed, because let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge, because most of the time when we talk about balance, it's run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. Musling, and now nothing but green ahead of him. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll run on first down. Miller down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead now stands at 13.
The penalty is declined.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive.
No.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Monday.
Flacco from the gun. This is the tight end, Fant. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Fant, the first-round pick out of Iowa, taken 20th overall. Second tight end taken in the draft. Amazingly, the second Iowa tight end taken in the draft is teammate T.J. Hawkinson. 8th overall, he was selected by the Lions. But Noah Fant really wowed everyone in Indianapolis at the Combine, and now trying to parlay that into an impressive NFL career. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in 1st downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a 1st down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, 4-1 Mike. Coming to you.
Flacco from midfield. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 35.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st down, Lindsey. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Flacco. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Flacco. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Looking to throw again on second down. Watson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
You see me out here. That's right. We can't.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From just shy of midfield, Flacco. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They're going with Lindsey, and they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as he'll wind up going backwards. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Watson now to throw. Pass incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And it's incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Watson on first down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. 5 plays there on that drive, and the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Philip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Flacco. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Flacco. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Joe Flacco. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And now that'll kick out of bounds, and this is going to be spotted back at their own 30. Oh, man. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Von Miller in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. We remind you that coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football. Seems like we've seen the Seahawks quite a bit in prime time the last few weeks, and we get them again tonight as they head down to L.A. to take on the Rams. And then tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, it's Giants-Eagles from chilly Philadelphia. 1st and 10 here for Flacco. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Flacco on the give to Lindsey. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Passing play, Flacco. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Well, he's going to go for it all, but it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful.
Go!
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Throwing here on first down. Flacco. It's caught by Sanders. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, here's Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson with a catch made by Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ballgame. And the Texans push further out in front.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now?
Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. J.J. Watt in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Another try after the first down sack. Flacco. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's a give to Lindsey running right. Oh, now Lindsey lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Watson with a give to Miller. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays,
hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Von Miller in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Watson. And some room to maneuver. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
McManus now for the extra point. And that will cut this lead down to 25. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore, because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The run there on 1st down, going to get him 5 up to the 30. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Miller. And an alley to run. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the counter, it's Miller. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Watson. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Setting up to throw, Flacco. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That's it, baby.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Go, go, go.
And again, it's Flacco to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 22. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So the Broncos coming out now. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of it.
Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
We'll throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. That goes for a gain of 31. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now it's Miller. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch.
Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll toss it to Miller. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Fix it. 19. Watch the curl. Watch the curls.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Jake Butt, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. The touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Flacco leaves to Lindsay on the draw. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Broncos on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run it. Freeman. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Lindsey. Oh, now Lindsey lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And now out comes Houston. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Shift.
On 3rd down, Miller. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Houston, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Denver, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.